is on our side. Silver and gold I do not have. What I have I given to you in the name of Jesus. Rise up and walk. Amen. Rise up and walk.
I've been the national manager for Red Bull for 5 years in Namibia. It taught me a lot. I traveled a lot around the world. I managed a fantastic team of innovative people, and also with the platform of Red Bull Amapico, that was a global platform to promote social entrepreneurs.
Right.
That always make an impact on the community or the environment.
Royal Hustlers is proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.
Good today, better tomorrow.
99 FM, your inspiration station. Top of the morning to you. It is Sibo and Mo in the morning. Sibo left me, but it's fine. So in studio, I have Nadia, who has been Namibia's national brand and marketing manager. And get this, at Red Bull, it gives you wings. GmbH for 5 years, leading Red Bull's Amapico in Namibia, an international platform promoting social entrepreneurship around the globe. She also has played a pivotal role in monitoring 3 Namibian social entrepreneurs who are contributing to the social and environmental economy in the land of the brave. One of Nadia's biggest passion is the concept of developing business ideas which serve communities or act as a solution to an environmental challenge. Nadia is currently the social media strategist for the Nature Awareness Project, which teaches local children about nature, reconnecting them to the outdoors. An impressive and quite a resume there, Nadia. Good morning. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you coming in this morning.
Good morning.
You are our royal hustler this morning. Nadia, look, getting straight into the thick of things, we want to know a bit about you. Who are you? Where were you? How are you? All of those nice things. Tell us a bit about yourself.
All right, so I was raised in Windhoek, Namibia, and I've been to boarding school all my life because my parents had a farm outside Okahanyas, and yes, it kind of gave me wings myself, because you needed to.
I see what you did there.
You needed to survive yourself without your parents. But I think that gave me a good platform to be the person that I am today.
Right. And you know, considering how you grew up and, you know, your formative years, did you at any point have a side hustle? Did you consider having a business on the side?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been working since I was 14, always in promotions, doing the extra money on the side, the extra jobs for getting around. You know how it is. And yes, I think that also contributed to the person who I am today.
How in what way? How do you think that actually, you know, helped you and just formed and impacted the person that you are today?
Well, you know, my dad always used to tell me, whatever you do, also if you are just a small employee and nobody recognizes you, make sure that even if you clean toilets, that you will become the toilet cleaning manager within a month.
Okay.
And that I took as a very serious concept in my life. So whatever you do, try to get yourself to the position that you teach others good about the job that you're doing.
Fast forward, your job right now, again, I went through a bit of your resume, which is exceptionally impressive. What is the most fulfilling component or aspect of your work, you know, the things that you do on a daily basis?
All right, let me take the listeners a little bit back. I've been the national manager for Red Bull for 5 years in Namibia. It taught me a lot. I traveled a lot around the world. I managed a fantastic team of innovative people, and also with the platform of Red Bull Amapico, that was a global platform to promote social entrepreneurs. That always make an impact on the community or the environment, that kind of flared up the passion inside of me, and I really, when I stepped out of Red Bull, purely because I had babies,
Right.
and I became a mother, I was I'm very grateful to have worked for such an incredible brand, and I'm still a huge fan of Red Bull, and I
Right.
still drink my Red Bull every day. As a mother, you definitely need that. I would say whatever happens to you in life at a certain stage, and sometimes we don't come across why does this happen to me right now. Sometimes you only reflect later, a couple of years later, and then you look back and say, I understand now. It was meant to be. It was the right path, the right door opened, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten to the next level
Right.
of a new door that has opened. So I really am a strong believer that everything that happens to you right now, although you wake up in the morning and you say, I don't know why this is happening to me,
Yeah.
there is definitely a reason.
One of the projects that you are busy with is the Nature Awareness Project. Talk to us a bit about that and how it's helping Namibian children connect with nature.
All right, so the project started with hunter support education, where the hunting industry in Namibia is still a lucrative and feasible industry, very, very clean industry. I myself grew up in the bush.
Right.
My parents had a hunting farm, so you always connected a little bit of in the bush, and we realized that children these days don't have that anymore. They think the milk comes from Pick and Pay.
Right.
The meat comes from Spar.
Right.
And this needs to change.
Yeah.
Why do our children, even if we grow up very little in the village, but the moment we come to the hub, and Windhoek is not even compared to a huge city, but still we feel that a lot of kids, and we get the experience that a lot of kids don't know what nature is about. The trees, Namibian trees, they don't know how to name them. They don't know what the grass names are. They don't know how to milk a cow. They don't know anything about stones.
Right.
And Namibia is so rich in their own herbs.
Yes.
You know, and we don't even need to go to the pharmacy. We've got everything for free in our bush.
Yeah.
And we've got knowledge of elderly women in Namibia that can actually teach us. And this is where we have started to produce videos, and I've helped them with social media to bring the message out there and say, guys, please get step one part back. And let's reconnect children to nature. So what we do is we connect to the schools. We contact the schools, and they send us some pupils between 15 and 20 pupils,
Right.
with an age range of 10 to 14, like the real teenager,
Yeah.
where your identity is formed and you're not actually in the mood to go out to nature and learn about the boring stuff.
Yeah.
This is where we need to change you.
Yeah.
And then we take them out to local farms, and we really have a nature coach,
That
an
is-
experience coach.
Right.
That takes them an entire day out and really teach them about everything they need to know about nature.
That is brilliant. I wish I could participate. Let's pivot back to you. I mean, specifically to you. You have a long list of roles right now. How do you find the time to flourish and just be on top of your game with everything that you're busy with?
Well, my life is quite extraordinary,
Right.
I would say. In the morning, I fulfill all the duties that I'm supposed to do on the social media side, on the marketing side. I'm doing a lot of marketing for local manufacturers, and this is another passion that I believe in. We can only contribute to the Namibia's economy if we manufacture locally. So this has to be really increased.
Right.
And that I'm doing in the morning. And in the afternoon, I switch off my phone and I'm completely there for my kids. And when they go to bed at night, then I take out my laptop again and I'm doing all the social media strategies for the companies that we're doing.
Yo. One of your biggest passions is the sustainable impact of entrepreneurship. Just briefly, because time constraints, how can startups build brands that follow this particular route?
All right, so there are a lot of programs at the moment happening in Namibia. I can maybe just elaborate on a few. UNICEF, for example, is involved in a huge one, the GIZ, and social entrepreneurship. For those that don't understand the concept, it's not just coming up with an idea of designing a new phone, right? So social entrepreneurship is really seeing and identifying a challenge in the community and saying, okay, we've got a challenge or in the environment, and then finding a solution to it and making and starting a business out of that. And this is how we not only change and improve our communities these days, it's also it's a new lifestyle of making business, because you always have that good heart feeling of contributing something to the world.
Yes.
And trying to establish and building something for your children at the end of the day. And I think a lot of people always ask me, so what can I do to improve Namibia? What can I do to that I can also say I've did something for my country? And I always answer, you need to try and build something and make a business out of something that definitely is still there in 20 years' time. So it needs to be sustainable. And if you create a platform now for your children, then your children will have the benefit in 20 years.
Naja, thank you so much. Your very, very inspirational story there, and we really appreciate the nuggets of gold that you dropped for our listeners. Thank you. That was,
Thank you so much for having me.
Nadia, who's a social media strategist. She's also a mother, a farmer, and a bush lady sometimes, and just an all-round inspiration and a woman that's just doing the most. Thank you so much again. That was our Royal Hustler for this morning.
Royal Hustlers was proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.
Good today, better tomorrow.
There's no price like the ShopRite price, which means you'll get low prices on everything you need. Like a 750-gram tin of Ricoffee instant coffee, only $79.99. And a 6-pack of 1-liter First Choice UHT full cream milk, just $99.99. The ShopRite price, the price you can trust, always.
Oranjemund, established in 1936, from which point onwards CDM, now Namdeb Diamond Corporation, provided every service, the schooling, infrastructure and entertainment required for the people of the town. The winds of change is blowing over Oranjemund, which is no longer a closed town.
This ship was commandeered by King Zhao III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India.
When we were kids, the mine delivered milk, bread, and black paper, black plastic bags for your rubbish, and cleaned your garden, did the maintenance of your house. You had furniture already installed in your house.
So that was another amazing interview. Stick around because we've got more.
Did you miss that incredible 99FM interview? Don't worry. You can listen to it in the app anytime, as many times as you want. Simply search for the interview you missed and voila. Afterwards, you can share it with friends so no one misses out. So what are you waiting for? Download it now on any mobile device and instantly become a 99FM app store. 99FM, your inspiration station.
Hi there, parents. Do you have primary school kids and want them to get extra quality supplementary lessons to up their grades? Then simply switch to One Africa TV's #LearnOn1, where your kids can get maths, English and science lessons every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. And thanks to NMH's MyZone, these lessons are 100% Namibian. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
life gets boring, we bring out our play, because playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and love. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
So growing up, I think when I was in grade 5, so I started attending official, martial art classes.
Okay.
So now I was the only one in the street.
Okay.
So what I did then is that over the weekend, I would then run my own classes, trying to kind of replicate that which I've learned, during the week, and teaching basically my peers that were not fortunate enough to be able to attend those classes.
Right.
So then in the process, they then started calling me, we're going to ninjas classes, So that's basically how I picked up the name.
Royal Hustlers is proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.
Good today, better tomorrow.
Time for a Royal Hustler. Good morning. It is the Script and Mo in the morning. No, it is not Sibo. Sibo is not here. It's Script. Script has taken over. He has, what's the word? Colonized the breakfast show this morning. But Royal Hustler, and today's program is a man by the name of Samuel Ninja Ndahangwapo. He is a PwC assurance partner. Now get this, in 2008, Samuel, in his infinite wisdom, decided to join PwC as a trainee accountant and qualified as a CA in 2011. After 3 years of training and completion of 2 qualifying examinations, by 2014, he was appointed as a partner at PwC, and he describes his role as a partner to be one of the most enhancing the credibility of financial information of businesses and institutions in training and developing of aspiring chartered accountants. Samuel, thank you so much for joining us, and it is an absolute pleasure having you in our company this morning.
Thank you very much. So I'm also excited to be here.
Before we get to your work, we want to know the man behind the man. Tell us a bit about yourself. Where, how, who, why? Where were you born? How were you raised? Where were you raised, even?
Okay, well, I was born and bred, in Shakati. So that's where I grew up, and I lived most of my life in the north. So in the end, I only came to Windhoek actually because of studies.
Right.
Yeah. So I have about 20 siblings.
20?
Yeah, 20 siblings from my dad's side.
Okay.
And then we are like 8 from my mom's side, and I'm the 3rd. So I did my primary education in Shakati, so at a school called Ingozi. So that's what we refer to it. It's well known basically as such, and it's kind of like referred to the former principal that we have given a nickname Ingozi, and then that basically name sticked, throughout.
Right.
Yeah. So then I did my high school at Gabieta Popi. And then after that, of course, after successfully completing grade 12, I joined UNAM.
Yeah.
And then after that, went to Rhodes, to do my postgraduate diploma in chartered accountancy. And then after that, I then came back home, and then I joined PwC in 2008.
And it's been smooth sailing ever since.
Yeah. So I'm a father, a husband.
Yeah.
So I have about 4 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm married for 11 years now.
Are we gonna get to 20? So, look, growing up on the streets of Shakati, and you sharing your story with us. What were your biggest dreams? Was being an accountant, a CA, part of that dream? Did you want to be an accountant growing up, or what exactly did you want to do?
Well, during our time, I've never heard of such as chartered accountancy until actually I got to UNAM.
Right.
Yeah, so that's actually very interesting. I wanted to be an accountant, but then we thought people that wanted to be accountant only work in the bank. So my dream basically was working
in the
for
bank.
The bank,
right.
Because accountant, counting the money.
Of course.
That's basically what we linked, the whole profession to. So I had a kind of like a terrible experience, in grade 10 with the accounting subject itself, and I wanted to run away from it. But for some reason, fate basically just brought me back. And yeah.
Right.
And then I ended up then basically choosing now chartered accountancy as a profession that I want to pursue when I got in grade 12.
Right. Yeah. We need to unpack that, but. Like today, what motivates you on a daily basis? What gets you out of bed? What is that one thing you're like, wow, this is the reason why I'm getting out of bed today?
Well, after I got married, and then I have kids. So, that realization that there are people that are dependent on you So that is really the one thing, that encourages me, that wants me basically to go out, knowing that what I do has basically, an impact, on the lives basically of the people that are dear and then close to me. So that's the encouragement basically that I get, every single day, in terms of going out, hustling, and then doing what I need to do, to support my family.
Yeah.
And also basically, training and development, which is something that I'm very passionate about, because that's what I've been doing for most of my life, like being a tutor, for example, at UNAM and at Rhodes.
Yeah.
So I basically just, want to invest, the little that I know,
Right.
so I can make a difference in somebody else's life.
You did preempt me a bit there, because I was going to ask if you had a side hustle, what your side hustle was, and what your thoughts are regarding side hustles.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think maybe I'll kind of like run a tutorial session of some sort.
Education,
because
yeah.
I mean, if I was not doing what I'm doing right now, I'll probably be lecturing, like at UNAM.
Right.
Because I mean, or at NAST, any of our local institution, because like I've indicated, training and development is something that I really, is close to my heart. I do it basically, if salary was not an issue, and then basically, I didn't need money, then basically this is what I'll be doing, all my life. Yeah.
How do you stay on top of your game? I mean, I can only imagine, and in some of the conversations that I've had regarding accounting or being a CA, it's a high functioning and it's a high demanding job. Waking up, you have 4 children, you're a married man, you have so much else going on, but then this is still something that you're trying to pursue and something that you're working on. How do you stay on top of the game, ensuring that you are always 100%? You did allude to you're also very passionate about educating and being a tutor and just really talking to younger people and developing their skills. But, from that perspective, how do you stay on top of your game? What's going on?
Well, I think the first thing that one must realize is the limited amount of time, that everybody, has.
Yeah.
So how I stay, on top of what I do, is really scheduling, all the activities basically that I need to do, and then identifying that which is important. And then I'll make sure that, I spend, my most productive time on the activities that are very important. So every day when I wake up, so I have a calendar, that I need to pursue. And then every sphere of my life, basically, that is very important to me, either family or work or maintaining relationship, outside the work, I basically put it on my calendar. And then basically I need to ensure that by the end of the day, I must have spent the time, that is allocated, that's available actually in the day.
Right.
And then basically, at the right, time, I do what I need to do, in that particular respect. So in our profession, so you need basically to continually update yourself, in terms of what's happening within the technical, standards, because that's basically what we get to be busy with almost like, every single day.
Right.
So allocating time, to ensure that you read up and then, you engage, you consult, and then you get, every bit of help basically that you need. So the benefit or the good news in our environment, there we work with highly, intelligent people that support us, in our job. Yeah, so basically making time, to reach out to those, so at least you can tap into the knowledge and then you then be able to apply that, on your day-to-day job.
Just to pivot a bit, you did touch on training and development. How would you say is the greatest, or what rather would you say is the greatest value in training and development?
Okay, well, I'll look at it from the perspective of what one try to achieve when you spend, time, money and energy basically in training and development, is that you want ultimately to get, high-performing individuals, in that particular respect. So when basically I get somebody who's able to take that which they have learned and then pass it on and replicate it, then basically I believe that I've achieved my goal as far as now training and development, is concerned. So getting somebody who's highly motivated, then you are most likely also to get somebody who's a high performer. And then that's what we're trying to do, because I mean, you understand Namibia, we really are kind of like lacking the necessary skills. So you'd want to ensure that, at the time and the energy that you spend, is basically going to result in that particular individual that you have trained, passing on the same to somebody else, and then of course replication will happen then in the process.
You have quite an interesting hobby, which earned you the nickname Ninja. When in my introduction, I did mention a bit on that. Care to spill the beans?
Well, yeah. So growing up, I think when I was in grade 5. So I started attending official, martial art classes.
Okay.
So now I was the only one in the street.
Okay.
So what I did then is that over the weekend, I'll then run my own classes, trying to kind of replicate that which I've learned, during the week, and teaching basically my peers that were not fortunate enough to be able to attend those classes.
Right.
So then in the process, they then started calling me, we're going to ninjas classes, So that's basically how I picked up the name. So and then the name sticked, because when I moved from primary school to secondary school, and then from secondary school to UNAM, I moved basically with my friends, and then they started calling me. So that's why most people actually know me as Ninja. And then if you say Samia, they'll be like, okay, who's that?
Right.
But yeah, so that's how I basically picked up the name. And currently, me and my entire family, that includes my wife, so we basically have taken up, martial art as a hobby. So, and then we do the Shotokan style. So in a local dojo, like in Koma style. So it's something basically that I like. Flexibility.
So it's a whole family affair also, yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for the young one now, who's 4 years old, to at least turn 5 before he can.
So you kill it in the books, you kill it, you in the dojo. Definitely a man of many talents. Now, this man. So clearly, education has been a big part of your life. If you took your karate or your ninja classes, as it were, and you decided to try and replicate that within, when you go back home. How did that really help and shape the man that you are today, and what did that do for you? Because in as much as that was just a part of your life, but that was part of your life in terms of your training and your karate classes. What did that do for you? What did that do to you?
So I think it really just helped me realize what is important in life, and then that's giving.
Right.
Because most of the time we focus ourselves on taking, but yet, that's one of the value that I've learned from my father, because he was like a self-made, mechanic that he had learned basically on the job. And then in the process, so I've seen him basically giving his life and his time basically training young ones that are coming through his garage. And then I kind of clicked in terms of what is really, the most important thing in life, and then that is to make a difference in somebody else's life. And then that's why, I live my life now basically to give, and not necessarily basically to take. So every encounter that I have with somebody is always, okay, what can I give? To this particular individual, either in terms of monetary value or basically just, some form of experience or understanding that I picked up, that I think they don't have. And then without necessarily thinking, what can I get in return?
Right.
Because the reason why, the whole idea of getting, I think that's why it got us to the place where we are a bit selfish, and then we are basically not making the impact that we should.
No, definitely. Before we let you go, you are a man of 4 children. You come from a big family, but in all of that, Namibia is still your family. Also, you are part of the Namibian house. What are your hopes for the future of the land of the brave?
I have a lot of hope for Namibia, but the one thing that comes out is really to come to a place where, as a nation, that we start being sustainable. We start industrializing, and then basically start consuming, producing everything that we consume, because we're so much dependent, on imports,
right.
And then everything else basically that we do. So if Namibia can come to a place where, we as, the citizens, move to the level of the mindset of producing everything basically that we produce, then I think, we would have done a good job, as a nation.
Ninja, thank you so much for your time. We really, really are inspired, and we love your story, man. Wishing you all the best, and yeah.
No, thank you very much.
That was Samuel Ninja Ndahangwapo, PwC Assurance partner, talking to us, or our role hustler, for this morning, sharing with us his hopes, aspirations, and of course his story of being a ninja in the streets of Oshakati. It is 99 FM, your inspiration station.
Royal Hustlers was proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.
Good today, better tomorrow.
Hi Namibia, I'm Sister Hulda Navasis, a registered nurse currently working at Namibian Oncology Center, Windhoek. I'm here to encourage each and every Namibian to stay home in order to slow the spread of the 2019 novel coronavirus. Physical distancing is very important. We will still be socially connected. Therefore, my people, be part of the solution. Stay home.